Alright, so I had a couple people ask me how to farm gold as a Fury Warrior. I'm going to show you one of the ways that I like to farm gold, and that would be definitely in Fellwood. The biggest issue with Fury Warriors is they have a lot of downtime in between pulls, so you need to somehow minimize that and maximize the time, or excuse me, minimize the time it takes to kill each mob. The best thing that I like to do is I like to farm in Fellwood against the fire elementals. Best way to fight these mobs is having a fire resistance set 75 plus. This will put your resistance against level 60s to be fair. And as a Fury Warrior, you definitely want to have your pre-raid bis on top of that. The nice thing about Fellwood is you can get the Songflower buffs, which will also increase your overall DPS. Pay close attention to how much damage I'm taking from these mobs.
That ability isn't ready. Can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Need more rage. Need more rage. Need more rage.
So as you saw, I was only taking about 55 damage, and these mobs are really nice. They don't drop that much in as far as vendoring, so you're not going to make much more than maybe 10 to 15 gold an hour just from straight vendoring. But what they do drop are elemental fires, essence of fires, and heart of fire. The heart of fires are especially great because when BWL comes out, you will have a ridiculous amount of heart of fire from farming these mobs. These transfer to 3 elemental fires, which sell for a ridiculous amount on the auction bills right now. And if you look, I am literally taking almost hardly any damage and maximizing my DPS potential. Since I'm wearing fire resistance gear, that may not be optimal as far as DPS goes. You're going to do less DPS, but with the Sunflower buff, that's pretty much mitigated. Again, taking hardly any damage. What I recommend for fire resist gear is having a full Black Dragon scale set, along with the Gauntlets of Might gloves. This will put you at an easy 75 plus fire resistance. And again, with full pre-raid bis gear on top of that.
Can't do that yet. Need more rage. Not enough rage. I can't do that yet.
This strategy can work with just about any kind of mobs. Our elementals, water elementals.
Not ready yet. Can't do that yet.
And you can pull just about any number of mobs that you want. Since you're going to take hardly any damage.
Need more rage. Can't do that yet. Not enough.
What you're really going for is the elemental fires. Obviously, there are better spots to farm this. That being right in this area region, there's going to be the Circle of Bindings, where warriors get their whirlwind axe. The elementals there have a much higher drop rate of elemental fire, which are a main source of income from these mobs. However, they're always farmed either by lobies or by people trying to farm greater fire protection potions. These mobs are typically not farmed simply because they do a lot of damage. And there's these elite packs over here that people usually don't want to engage. Another good option would be Goro. Right this area, there's going to be a lot more fire elementals. So if this area is already
I'm out of
taken,
range.
you can do the same thing. The only difference is you won't have the Songflower buff. But yeah, this is how I make my gold when I need to farm it. Other good alternatives is obviously coming up with a tanking set that will allow you to effectively farm 5-mans. Best way to do this without getting told to fuck off would be to ask for all greens. Any BOE greens that drop go straight to you as a tank. Strat live runs demanding first orb that drops go straight to you to ensure that you make a good amount of gold. Those go for 25 plus depending on the economy. And then of course, you can just ask for a straight amount of gold. Anywhere from 25 to 40 depending on the difficulty of the group and how geared you are. Or the difficulty of the dungeon and how geared you are.
Can't do that yet. Not ready yet.
Another good idea to farm gold as a Fury Warrior is to
need more rage.
Get into with your guildies. With your guildies, you can form a 4-man group to farm the Emperor. So if you're a Fury Warrior trying to get your pre-raid miss, you can farm Emperor runs for your Iron Foe, and then you can have the 5th person. You can find a 5th person to sell your Hand of Justice to. Those can be sold for anywhere to 75 to 100 gold, and then you would split that with 4 different people, or 3 other people in your guild, effectively getting 20 gold if it drops. And you can do a Emp run, or a Lava run, probably in about 15 minutes with a good composition. Lastly, if you're Horde, another good location to farm gold would be in Tier's Hand. In a 2-man, the best composition would be a Restoration Shaman as a Fury Warrior. You definitely want to have a good amount of tank gear. That would look something like this. With this setup, you're unbuff, you're looking at 4600 HP. That's really what you're going for. And with a tanky setup, you're allowing yourself to take the damage, and then you really, in the Tier's Hand, there's certain mobs that do heal, so you want to avoid pulling 2 of those at the same time unless you have some sort of solid CC. So if you do want to 2-man it with like a mage, then that is a good option. But yeah guys, this is how I make my gold. As you can see, I have quite a bit of elemental fire, heart of fire from farming these mobs. You can easily pull multiple of them for cleave bonuses, and it definitely helps to have a Fell Striker as well. Thanks guys.